We're going to do some breathing today, some pranayama or breath work. We'll also do mostly stretching today. So yoga is it's stretching and strengthening and breath work and meditation, and all of these practices combined are what unite all of our bodies, including our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body. So we are multidimensional beings, which means that we have all these different layers that live on different dimensions. And whenever I teach my yoga class, I like to have everyone connect to their higher self to begin with. And that way we're bringing through that energy, that spiritual energy from that dimension. So let's do that now. So coming into your seated easy pose. And let's bring our palms to our hearts in prayer position. And we always open up our class with one Om, and that harmonizes us all on the same vibration and frequency. And it also connects us to everything in the universe. So let's breathe in together. And just take a few deep breaths into your belly as you're sitting here with your eyes closed. And set your intention to connect with your higher self and your I am presence. And connecting with Mother, Father, God, and the heart and mind of the universe. And feel a spiral of white light energy come down from source, spiraling down onto the top of your head, and through your entire body and around your entire body, all the way down through our base chakra and tailbone, down through our legs, and this spiral of white light energy connects us to the very heart of Mother Earth. Keep breathing the breath into the belly. And now set your intention for your practice this morning. And when you are ready, you can release your hands down into your lap and open up your eyes. And we'll do some breathing breath work, pranayama. And so this particular pranayama will breathe in through our nose, 4 counts. We'll hold the breath for 4 counts. We'll exhale for 4 counts, all the air out. And then you hold the breath out for 4 counts. So this is considered box breathing. 4, 4, 4, 4. Now, when you take your breath in, you want to breathe as much air in as possible in those 4 counts. So you have to learn how to modulate and regulate your breath. So let's just practice. Breathe in 4 counts. And now hold. Exhale 4 counts. And hold. So see if you can tell if when you breathed in the 4 counts, did you breathe in as much air and fill up the lungs as much as possible? Or could you have taken in more? And then when you exhaled, did you release all the air out, or was there still some air left that needed to come out? So this is what we can practice with this breath, is in those 4 counts, bringing in as much as possible so that we're full and the breath feels like it's come up to the collarbone. And then when you exhale out the 4 counts, you want your belly to be sunk in, like concave. And then that way, when you're holding the breath out, you're receiving the benefit of all the air being out of the body. All right, so we're going to do several rounds of this. And go ahead and begin in 4 counts. Hold it. Exhale all the air out. Hold it. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last round. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Hold. And release the breath. Eyes closed. Internal vision at the brow center. Breathing normally and just being aware of what that short pranayama practice had the effect, what the effect is on your mind, your mental body. So this pranayama really does help with calming the mind and balancing our mental body. So if ever you feel yourself getting sad or anxious, just sit down and do the box breath for 3 to 5 minutes and see how that changes your situation. All right, so we're going to do some stretching now. Let's go ahead and bring the arms up overhead and drop your right arm behind you. Take your left hand to your right elbow and just gently draw the elbow down a little bit. Your right hand is in the center of the back. And you're going to feel the stretch right into your shoulders. Chin stays parallel to the floor. And just breathe here. You can stay right here with this stretch, or you can reach the left arm around the back and reach the fingers for each other, clasping the fingers together. And if your fingers don't reach and touch one another, you can also use a strap here. And just breathe into the shoulders. And as you're breathing, just draw your energy into your heart center. Bring your awareness to your heart. And allow your heart to soften. Good. And let's release. And just shake your shoulders out. And then bring the arms up again. And this time your left hand comes to the middle of the back and your right hand comes to your left elbow. Sitting up nice and tall. There's no arch in your back. And your chin is parallel to the floor. Feel the stretch in the left shoulder as you draw the elbow slightly down. Stay right here or reach the right arm back behind and interlace the fingers or use your strap. One side may be different than the other, and that's okay. And then breathe into it and come back to the heart center with your awareness. Good. Release your hands, arms down. Shake your shoulders out. And now bring your arms parallel to the floor and turn your fingers to point up. So your palms are pointing out, facing outward. And now that you're in this position, you're going to press the palms away from you on either side, continuing to draw your fingers up towards sky. So keep pushing both hands away from you. It's an interesting sensation, isn't it? Not entirely comfortable, but you will feel a stretch here. And breathe into the belly. Good. And now drop the left hand down. You're going to come to the fingertips with the left hand. Reach the right arm up and across. Plant the left palm. Now keep your hips and sits bones planted, and then just reach across with that right arm. While you're doing that, lift up through the abdominal region so you're not collapsing. And reach across. Now you're going to feel that stretch right through the sideline of the right arm, down through the armpit. Your left elbow is bent to support you. And then breathe into that stretch. One more deep breath here. Good. And let's come up and take it across to the other side, fingertips touching, and then plant the right palm and reach up and over. And now you don't want to drop that left shoulder down. Keep the left shoulder open so that your torso continues to face the front, and then lift up through this rib cage here and breathe as you reach the left arm across. Try to keep that left arm straight, and you're really going to feel the stretch right from here down to the left hip. Breathing into it. Good. Come back to center. And now let's draw the shoulders up to the ears. Draw them back. Draw them down and forward. Giant circles going back. Using your breath. That's 3. Let's do 2 more. This is our warm-up. Good. Now reverse your circle. Down, back, up, and forward. And keep moving. Good. Now just shake your shoulders out. And let's remove anything that's underneath our seat. So we come onto the mat. And we'll bring both legs out in front and just shake out our legs. And now let's bring the soles of the feet together and draw your heels in as far towards your body as you can. And then wrap your hands around your toes. You can interlace your fingers. Bounce your knees a little bit here. See if you can wiggle your feet a little bit closer to your body. Still sitting up is nice and tall. And now draw your knees, press your knees down toward the earth. Just pressing your knees down. Relax and begin to lean forward. Just as far as you come. We're right at the beginning of our practice here, so we're probably not going to be too stretched out yet. And just keep drawing the heart toward your toes and breathing into your belly. You can feel the hips there getting a nice stretch. As far down as you come, just keep breathing right into the belly. Good. Coming all the way back up. And now we're going to take the left leg out in front. Flex the foot. Sit up nice and tall. The right foot is to the inside of the left thigh. And with the foot flexed, that means that this left leg is active. Go ahead and lift in your heart. And we're going to lean out over the left leg. And the hands come forward wherever they land. And begin to move your entire torso out over the left leg. This is head to knee pose, so if you don't have any injuries that prevent you from drawing your head toward your knee, go ahead and do that. And you'll just breathe right into the back of the left leg. Keeping the left foot flexed. And then slowly come all the way back up. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. We're coming into Stargazer. Swoop the left arm up, and then you're going to extend that left leg and reach the right arm back. The right knee is supporting you. Sorry, did I say left arm? Anyway, you're reaching the left arm back. And then release back down to your seat. And let's switch legs. Bring the right leg out. Bring the left foot into the right thigh. Right foot is flexed. Now your hips and shoulders are squared to the front. And then when you're ready, sit up nice and tall, lifting through the high heart. And we're going to extend the torso out over the right leg. And you'll feel that stretch right down the back of the right leg. And you can draw your head towards your knee. If you're not drawing your head towards your knee, you're drawing your heart forward with your head lifted. Breathe into the leg as it opens with the breath. Two more breaths. And then slowly come back up. And we'll plant the left hand now underneath the left shoulder. Sweep the right arm up and back. Extend through the right leg and stargazer on the other side. And release it back down. Good. Cross at the ankles now, and let's roll out onto all fours into table. Spreading the fingers wide. Knees are underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. And let's do a couple cat-cow. Inhale, looking up. Reach the tailbone up, spread the sits bones wide. And then as you exhale, press the heart up, chin to chest, tailbone under. And then just flow with your breath back and forth. Good. Come back to a neutral position. So your hips are directly over your knees. And you're just going to walk your hands forward on the mat and drop your chest down. Now, your forehead will come down as well. Arms extended. Hips stay over the knees. And if you have a lot of flexibility, you can bring your chin to the mat. This is puppy pose. And then lift your head and chest and walk your hands back underneath you. Let's tuck our toes and take it up and back into downward dog. Lifting the hips and pushing away from the hands, pedaling one foot down at a time so that we are bicycling the legs and slowly opening the back of the body, the back of the legs. Good. Keep pedaling through the feet, pressing away from the hands. Your entire hand should be engaged on the mat. And now you're going to sink both heels down while at the same time reaching the tailbone up. And let's do three-legged dog here, where we raise the right leg high, open the hip, and bend through the right knee, rotating the right foot around in a circle. Keeping that left heel sinking down toward the mat. And then straighten through the right leg. and lower the right leg down. And let's do the other side. Left leg lifts, stack the hips, bend through the left knee, and rotate the left foot in a circle. Left leg lengthens, and then lower the left leg down. And now roll it out into plank. Drop the knees down. Bring the knees and feet together and sit back into child's pose and just rest here for a moment. Forehead on the mat, hands come by your feet. Breathing into the belly. Just let your shoulders relax here. Good. Bring your arms out in front and then come back into table. So the knees come underneath the hips, fingers wide underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and take it up and back into downward dog once again, sinking the heels down. And now just a slight pulsation with your heart toward your toes. And now walk your hands back so that you come into standing forward fold. That means your balance is now on your legs. Bend your knees so that your belly is on your thighs. And you can hold opposite elbows. Just let your torso hang here. And just wriggle your spine so that your torso elongates down. And drawing your head toward the mat. Breathe into the belly. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. So this is like a seated forward fold, except for it's standing. And it allows gravity to do some of the work for us. Good. Release your arms. And you're going to walk your feet to the edges of the mat. So the outside edges of the mat are lined up with the edges of your feet. Take your left hand to your right ankle and reach the right arm up. If your left hand doesn't go to your right ankle, you can put your left hand in the center. You can also use a block if you need a block. Okay, so we're doing a twist here. Right arm is going to come up, keeping the sacrum area nice and level. If you are with your left hand on your right ankle, you're twisting, and the right arm reaches up to sky. Good. Other side, right hand to the left ankle, left arm up to sky. You can also put your right hand on a block or in the center of the mat, whatever works for you. Good. Release the left arm down. And now you're going to walk back into downward dog, walking the hands forward on the mat, lining up the feet with the hip bones. We're back in downward dog. And now from here, step the left foot forward, coming into low lunge. Left foot comes all the way up, and the foot is directly underneath the knee. The right leg is back. Here, you can drop the right knee down onto the mat and uncurl the toes. And we're going to walk this left foot out now to the edge of the mat so that the left arm comes to the inside. And here we're going to work on the stretch of lizard pose, which really gets into the hips and groin. So you can work this pose right here, just on your hands, and just take your awareness into the groin area and your breath. You can also drop down onto one elbow, or perhaps you have blocks, or both elbows. And now let's breathe into the left hip. And the groin area. And with the breath, we move through any of the tightness, working with the resistance or the pushback that our body is giving us. And as you come up against that resistance, just let your breath infiltrate. And then relax. See if you can relax that pushback. And move through the door to the next level of opening. So there's no fight. No fight, no resistance, just flow. Good. And then come all the way back up. And we're going to walk the left foot back in. And let's tuck. Okay, so here we are with the left arm on the outside of the left elbow. Tuck the right toes under. And we're going to take both hands to the left knee. Now you're continuing to sink into your hips down toward the earth. So you're going to feel a real stretch in the front of the right hip. And at the same time, lift the heart up. Hips are dropping down, heart is lifting. So you have those opposites, that tension of opposites. One is, and they're drawing away from each other. That creates length. It creates depth. Lift the heart, lower the hips, and breathe. And if you want to bring your arms up in Temple Mudra with the 2 forefingers pointing up, you can do that. Good. Now release your hands down. And then shift your weight back over the hips, over the right knee. Front leg straightens, flexing the left foot. And you're in runner's stretch. You can have blocks here on either side. Depending on your flexibility, you might be up here. And then you're just working the stretch right here. Wherever you feel the left hamstring stretching in the back, work with that. So now you're drawing your torso forward, and then just slightly draw this left hip back to increase the stretch. Breathe into the back of the leg. This is the precursor for splits. And if you want to do splits, you can do splits. Otherwise, we're just working with the stretch in the back of the left leg. And it goes all the way down. Good. Shift your weight forward again. So you're going to walk your hands up. And now plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck the back toes under, and let's step it back into downward dog. Slight pulsing with the heart. Raise the right leg high, and step the right foot all the way forward. into low lunge on the other side. Drop the left knee down, and then walk your right foot out to the edge of the mat, uncurl your back toes. And let's come down into lizard on the other side. Wherever you're working, blocks up on your hands, down on your elbows. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting the stretch in that groin and right hip that is opening those channels of energy and stretching those muscles. Breathe into it. Notice where the resistance is pushing. And then make friends with the resistance. Make friends with resistance. Breathe into it. Let it soften. Feel the flow. Once we befriend the resistance, we can turn it into flow. So yoga creates harmony within the body. And harmony means everything working together, everything supporting each other. And if we can do that with our own body, then we can be harmonious within ourselves. Go ahead and come up and walk this left foot back in with the right arm coming to the outside. So once we create harmony within ourselves, then we can create harmony with the others. Tuck the back toes under and let's straighten. We're going to come up into Anjayasana. Okay. So we're the weight is forward, and take your hands to your right knee. And from here, lift the heart and keep dropping the hips down toward the mat. So I think I had the toes curled under on the other side, but it's actually easier if you have your toes flat, your left toes. Lift the heart, lower the hips. Create that depth with the spine, that length. Breathe. Hands can be up in Temple Mudra. Arms by your ears. And then release the arms down. Now tuck your back toes under and straighten the front leg, shifting the hips over the left knee. And just wriggle this front leg into place. Wriggle the foot. And now you're going to have your blocks on either side with the right leg straight. And lengthen your torso out over the right leg or over the center line. You're not going to be directly over the leg. And you'll feel that deep, deep stretch into the hamstring. Keep drawing your heart forward. Deep belly breaths. Good. Lift your head and chest. Drop the foot down, bend the knee, and then come back with your hands up by your foot, right foot. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the left toes under, step it back into downward dog. And then roll it out into plank. And we're doing mostly stretching today by request. So we haven't done a lot of strengthening poses. So let's just breathe here for a few moments. This plank is always going to work your core. Good. Drop your knees down. Come back onto your seat. And then sit down, bringing both legs out in front. And let's come onto our backs, nice and slow. Lowering down. Hug both knees into your chest. And let's just rock a little bit side to side. Okay, fish pose. So lengthen the legs out on the mat and bring your hands underneath your seat about halfway. Point your toes. And then we're going to lift the chest up and you'll come up on your elbows. So here in this pose, fish pose Matsyasana, our tripod is the two elbows and the sacrum tailbone area. That is what is keeping this pose lifted. That's our base, our foundation. Now lift the chest and drop your head back so that the top of your head comes onto the mat and only about 10% of your body weight is on your head. Keep pointing your toes. Feel how your tailbone area is your support along with your elbows. And this allows your heart to open. Focus on your heart here. Feel it expanding. Good. Now lift your head and come all the way down onto your back. And now turn your head slowly side to side. And now we're going to walk our feet underneath our knees for bridge pose. Arms down alongside the body, palms facing down. Now lift your shoulder blade up and walk it down the mat. The whole arm lengthens down the mat. This gives you a nice long neck. Hands are by your feet. And you're going to press into the feet, slowly begin to lift the hips. And drawing the entire thoracic spine or your upper chest towards your chin. Roll your shoulders under and then draw your chest or your sternum toward your chin. Keep pressing into the feet. You feel a nice stretch down the back of the neck, whole shoulder area. Two more breaths. and then release the shoulders and slowly make your way all the way down again with a flat back. Turn your head side to side. Good. And let's hug the knees into the chest and rock a little bit back and forth here. So we'll do a little bit more core, easy core today. Feet together. Bring your arms out in a T position. And now you're just going to make tiny circles with your knees in one direction. Tiny little circles. Notice where your core is being engaged with the small circles. All right, now make your circles a little bit bigger, medium-sized circles. And then be aware of your abdominal muscles that are being used with the medium-sized circles. And now we're going to make big circles with the knees going around. And see how that changes the muscles you're using in your core. Good. Come back to center with your knees and let's turn it around to the other direction, small circles. So this is the best core work to do if you have any lower back issues. Now, I have scoliosis and I used to have back problems until I started doing yoga. Having a strong core will really help. Go ahead, medium-sized circles now. Having a strong core supports the spine because all the muscles in the core create a strong foundation for the skeletal system. So if you have back problems, and I'm not a doctor, but if you have bad back problems, that's going to be a different story. But if you have just general discomfort and some complaints, now giant circles with the knee. If you have just a soft core, and you're older, then what you want to do is strengthen the core, and that's really going to help with any discomfort you have in your back. All right, how's everybody doing? Go ahead and drop the feet down. Lengthen the left leg on the mat. And we're going to take the right knee up, bring it up to the chest, and bring it across to the left side of the body for a twist. Shoulders on the mat. And the other side. So bring this right knee back in. Lengthen the right leg out. Draw the left knee in toward your chest. Arms are staying out in a T position. And then draw the left knee across to the right, keeping that left shoulder down. So just wherever it comes to. You can always support this left knee with a block to rest it on if you need to. Breathe into your twist. A little lemon twist. Good. And now bring this left knee back to center and then the left leg out. We're coming into our Shavasana now. Final resting pose. So your arms are out wide, palms facing up. Legs are out wide. Make any little movements you need to make to feel yourself situated on the mat comfortably. And let's just take a nice deep breath in through our nose, and then we'll let it out with an audible sigh. So inhale. Okay, now we're going to lift everything up. Or squeeze the body. And see if you can lift the arms, lift the legs, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then relax. Another deep breath in. And let it out with a sigh. And now just coming into silent meditation, bringing your awareness into your heart center. And in this meditation, and I will be silent in a moment, but just take your awareness to your heart and spend time with your heart, feeling into what's going on in your heart center. Images may come up, feelings may come up, you might even cry. Let that happen. Just spend these next few minutes here with your heart, listening. And now bring both hands over your heart. And send your heart some loving energy from your hands. Be aware of any images or feelings that are coming out from your heart of what your heart needs and the language of your heart. And you can ask your heart what it needs. Tell me what you need. And just making this connection will strengthen your relationship to your own heart. Just tuning in and listening in pure awareness will open that channel between your head and your heart that is so vital to open. Our heart is our master. Our heart is our true North Star guidance. Our heart is our spirit and our soul speaking to us. And the head is here to serve the heart. The head is here to serve the guidance of our spirit. And that is the correct relationship. So we thank our heart, show appreciation, and make a promise to come back and listen and tune in often. And now go ahead and reach your arms long on the mat overhead. Stretch through the whole body. And then bend through both knees and roll onto one side. And press up to a seated position. Here we are. Palms at the heart. Let's close the class with one Om, breathing in together. I bow to the most beautiful light that is inside of you, that is also inside of me. Namaste. And pay reverence and give your appreciation to Mother Earth. And to all of the unseen beings that guide us. Mother, Father, God. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. My name is Beth Wright. My company is Spirit Works. You can find me on Facebook as Spirit Works Beth Wright. You can also find me at energyhealingteacher.com. Thank you.